Morning, friends. In this video, I want to get into how I approach travel from the photography side and also just a practical side. Get into a little bit of the gear that I use, and I've pretty much got it nailed down now since I've done quite a bit of traveling. I'm in between trips right now, so I thought now would be a good time to get into that. Today it's super hot in Seattle, so I'm gonna make an iced V60 and then we can get into it. So let's do that. Let's get into how I approach travel. So right off the bat, I'm one of those weird people who gets super into travel gear and kits and what other people are taking with them online. I've definitely spent way too much time just in this world trying to figure out what the heck to get. But I think something that's missed when talking a little bit too much about the gear is what your philosophy should be going into traveling in general, especially if you're a photographer like me. So there's a couple philosophies that I have that I try to stick to, but doesn't always work out that way. The first being, who am I traveling with? Am I traveling by myself, with my wife, with my family, or am I by myself? Because that really changes my approach to what gear I want to bring with me. When I'm with my family and with my wife, yes, I'm gonna be taking lots of photos, but I'm also gonna be more focused on them and what I'm doing with them, and I don't want that to get in the way of me enjoying that experience. When it's just me, it's a little easier to go crazy with the gear, but at the same time, I've found after many of my trips and travels that if I bring too much gear, it really gets in the way and detracts from the experience. Before I even get into photography gear, my number one recommendation for people is to take a carry-on. Carry-on suitcase and a backpack or some kind of bag make your life so much easier. Checking a bag, especially when you're going to like Europe or places, becomes a hassle when you're trying to get your suitcase into a small taxi or you're in a metro station and they don't have an escalator or elevator at all, and you have to carry your bag up and down a huge flight of stairs. This has happened to me before. Just really minimizing what you bring goes a long way. And actually, I know some people who do this, but then, you know, they're in Japan or somewhere and there's a bunch of stuff that they end up wanting to buy. They end up buying a really cheap suitcase while they're there and then checking that bag on their flight home so they don't have to worry about it. But yeah, that's been a lifesaver, and I'll go through the bags that I use in a second. On the photography side, my number one recommendation is to bring one digital, one film, or if you're really into either one, that's fine. The less photography gear you bring, the better. Now, because I've been getting more into video, that philosophy has been a little trickier. I'm shooting right now on my DJI Osmo Pocket 3, so that comes with me, but it is so small and compact, has changed everything for me, that it really doesn't add that much more bulk to my kit. But in general, I'll bring one digital and one film. Usually why I do that is because I like shooting both mediums. I primarily seem to be shooting more film these days. It really just depends on the situation and the light and everything, and you can't always predict it. To minimize choice fatigue, which is real, I'll bring just one lens for each camera. So lately that's been a 28mm on my Contax G1, and then I just got one for the Leica M10. That's just been like such a nice focal length that I stick to and forces me to use it for everything. When I'm out shooting, I don't have to think, oh wait, I want to swap my lens or whatever, which does happen a lot. And when I want to use a telephoto, I'll use my phone, which has that and does a great job. It really forces you to just think about that focal length. It really eliminates all the choices you have to make, and you can think about the fun things like what film stock you're going to use on which day and which situation, which I love doing. All right, guys, I'm going handheld mic here real quick to show you basically how I travel. So got my long weekend shoulder bag right here. Got my Contacts G1 on my shoulder, just like this. And then this is like a typical outfit I'll wear like to the airport or just traveling around in general. Usually got some Salomons on. These are my XT4s, which are my favorite shoes ever, I think. They're just so comfortable and sporty. You can do with any outfit, but also like you're going to be doing a lot of miles walking around. So these have always done me right. Salomon, sponsor me, please. And these are just some Lululemon trousers, which are super comfortable. They're really nice because I can adapt them with like really hot weather or cold weather with layering, and also just on the airplane, they're very comfortable as well. And then I have this really cool Adidas Originals. I think it's their outdoor hiking brand, but this anorak that they have is super nice, and so I wear this for everything. And then yeah, I usually have a hat on or something, so this is typically what it looks like. And yeah, this is basically just me at the airport or traveling anywhere. Travel backpack on my suitcase right here, and you're good to go. It's as easy as that. Just keep things simple. The last thing I want to touch on is something that I personally like to do when I'm traveling, which is grab some coffee beans from a coffee shop I'm at. So it's kind of nice to collect coffee beans from a coffee shop that you went to. When you get back, when you're sad, when your trip is over, you go to make your morning cup of coffee and you get a little bit reminder of what it was like there. And so, these are from my trip to Thailand. And then I was just down on the Oregon coast in Southern Oregon and got some coffee beans at a really great coffee shop there. And then this is some tea that a friend of mine helped me find in Hong Kong. So every time I pour a cup of any of these, it's just a really nice reminder and makes the trip last a little bit longer. And then the other thing I've started doing is collecting magnets, which I stick on the fridge. So here's one from Singapore, and I have another one from Hong Kong. So also just like a fun little reminder of your travels and places that you've been. So I hope you liked this video, guys. It's been something that I've been thinking about for a long time. So again, please let me know in the comments if you have any recommendations of ways that you travel, gear, or tips that you have. And also let me know if you have any more questions. I'm sure I will make an update to this in the next year as I continue to travel and the gear evolves as well. So please like and subscribe, and more videos coming very soon. Later.